Hello, everyone. Starting in like just 1 second, getting all the final configurations done. Opening up a group chat so I can play along. I have to hit pause on this. Pop chat out. My wife just sent me a text message with an image. I'll dunk down this cherry spot and see what this is, and then we'll get started. What'd she send me? It was a picture. So totally just got sidetracked by that. Sorry. It's a picture of the baby with a bump on her head. Just parenting from afar is totally different. Totally. Actually, it's not different. I'd be at work at this time anyway. So this is normal life. I get a text message. We communicate with text message all the time. How do I talk to my wife? I text her. How do we do anything with my wife? I text her. So it's all of that. It's what happens. It's what happens when you have kids, I guess. So, all right. Let me do this and hit here. Oh, I need to send her the link. Beast active still. Nope, that is not the right link. Totally vamping. I was so ready to start on time, Captain Jeff, but now I understand. Like I'm here, I'm ready, and now there's just these final distractions. It's crazy. Da, 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 da. All right. I want to go back to this screen and this screen and links. Copy that. Send to wife. All right. That's sent. That's sent. I hope you're feeling well and better, Captain Jeff. We'll talk in the hangout afterward. The sun's going down. Let's get this thing on the road. I should have my soundbite up over there. It was a great day. Great interviews. This is going to be fun. Can't wait to talk to all y'all in the chat. But, all right, we're 320 in this. Holy wind. Glad I'm in here, not out there. That'd be bad. All right, let's get this started. Blind Life Podcast, episode 23, part 3, Sun and Fun, day 3. There's a lot of threes in that. Welcome to the Flying Life Podcast, a podcast about just that, flying, aviation, and my life. I'm Dispatcher Mike, a dispatcher for a major airline based here in the United States. Well, day 3 of Sun of Fun is almost over. Sun is still up tonight while I'm doing this, opposed to being down. No night air show tonight, so it gives me an opportunity just to be here, finish up my work, and be done. So, how'd the day go? The day started wet. Thunderstorms. And it's actually kind of amazing. Meteorologists absolutely nailed what they announced at the night air show last night. Last night at the night air show, they announced that they were going to start rain and thunderstorms starting at 5 a.m. and end at 8 a.m. Well, like clockwork. I think any major airline needs to hire this meteorologist that did this forecast. The thunderstorm started literally 5 a.m. It started raining, lightning, the whole bit. And then it stopped. He missed it. He was a little bit off. It stopped raining at 8:10 this morning. And after that, little overcast later for a couple of hours, and the rest of the day, crystal clear skies. Gorgeous day being here at Sun and Fun. That cold front came through. Temperatures are a lot cooler. It almost feels like a fall day to me in Georgia. It's warm, but it's dry, very dry air. A little bit of a bite, a little crisp this morning, a little chilly. So it's gonna be a little chilly tonight. I have a feeling. So that's what we have tents and sleeping bags for. So in this episode, today I focused on the vendor areas. This is the hangars A, B, C, and D. I went over to hangar E, and we'll talk a little bit about what hangar E is. But it's windy, gusting 20, 25 knots right down the pipe for runway 27 for the most part today. So good for the people flying in. Big highlights of the air show today. The Blue Angels had their full team arrive today after doing a flyover Walt Disney World. They practiced for a long time, and you're going to hear the Blue Angels practicing in the interviews I did. I had no clue it was the Blues. Otherwise, I would have stopped doing interviews, but actually turned out really well. Saw the end of the Blue Angels practice, and man, you cannot have any more precise and crisp of flying routine. So I cannot wait to see their air show again tomorrow. I think they're performing tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. So 3 days here at Sun and Fun for the Blue Angels. So if you're down in the Florida area, come on out. Come to Sun and Fun. Spend 2 days of it. Make a weekend out of it. There's plenty to do, plenty to see. So tomorrow we'll go over towards the aircraft manufacturers. Hopefully get there early in the morning, knock it out, and talk to them. So interviews today in the area. We're going to talk to Jason Schappert from M0A.com. If you're on Facebook, you might have seen Jason's videos come up. He does high quality work, but he also has a ground school and all of that for Jason and M0A. We're going to talk to this company called Cloud Ahoy and what they do. And I was really impressed by their product and really, really excited about what they're doing and how to make yourself a better pilot. That as soon as I got back to the media center here and with good Wi-Fi, I signed up for their service. So we'll talk about what Cloud Ahoy does. We'll talk to Aero Cinema, which is an aviation-based Netflix service, basically. It's all aviation channels. They used to be Discovery Wings. It's those same people, except they turned and they made it into an aviation Netflix style service. So we talked to them. And then we talked to FlyMaine and the Maine Aviation Business Association. And they got a really cool thing going on. That's why I wanted to talk about it. It caught my eye. I also did not record any interviews, but I'll talk to it about the state of Virginia and the state of North Carolina. Their departments of aviation are actually here as well. And they produce some really cool things, which makes me wonder if the state of Georgia or any other state produces this kind of high quality publication. And I'll show that, and I'll see if I can find links to put in the show notes. But basically, it's a graphical AFD, and it has pictures of all the airports and everything like that. So it's a really good tool to have. So I talked to them, and then while I was talking to the Virginia Department of Aviation, I got a lot of great ideas for future flying in life / airline pilot guy meetup events. It seems Virginia seems to be the most local place for us to meet up at. So I got some good things for there. So without further ado, let's start talking about M0A and what work they do. All right, so I saw the M0A Aviation, their company start popping in my Facebook feed probably about a couple of years, about a year ago, I think it is. And it's just this weird dude who's a CFI making YouTube videos and Facebook videos and posting them online. And that's all I really thought it was. And I knew it was kind of a little bit more, but in the end, I knew um, they had more, and it turns out to be in a whole online ground school and all that. So I talked to Jason Shappert. He's their main instructor. His wife is their ground school instructor. This is completely a family business. Their whole family was at the booth when I first went up to it. His wife was there, 38 weeks pregnant. She was there with her two other kids. It's awesome, awesome story. Great guy. So let's go ahead and listen to this. I'm here with Jason Shappert from M0A.com. Jason, first of all, your Facebook videos I always see pop up my feed. They're amazing. They give us a lot of insight and cause debate at work. But I know you do more than Facebook videos. What do you do? What is M0A.com?
Sure. So M0A.com is really an online flight training community. You see us on YouTube, you see us on Facebook, and our premise, our whole business model is always, if you want to be successful, help others find success. So we give away our best content so you can have these debates, so you can learn more about myself and our family and our team here at M0A.com. And then we hope, and our goal is that when you need a private pilot online ground school or help with that instrument written test, you think of M0A.com and you come back. And if you think the videos we put out there for free are good, wait till you see the videos you pay for inside of our membership-based online ground school. It's very cool stuff.
So say I'm a private pilot, I want to get an instrument, and you have on your sign, and you do it online, and you'll pass your check ride or you'll pay for it. So what is it? How does it work?
Sure. So we do not only pass your check rider will pay for it, but pass your written test, your knowledge tester will pay for it. We have about 1,200 students go through our course each month, and over the past 10 years, I've only redeemed that offer twice. Only had 2 check ride failures. We have just a crazy high success rate with everything because I'm not teaching you a test. Yes, you're going to pass with flying colors, but most importantly, I'm out to make you a safe real-world pilot, and that's what we're really after. When you teach people real-world flying principles, and I do it through stories. You hear my stories, you live my stories in the videos. When I teach you stories, you're more likely to remember that and adapt that principle. And it's a knowledge test, not a written test. I'm giving you that knowledge to understand that check ride prep. Yeah, you're going to pass it, but again, most importantly, you'll be that safe real world pilot.
Okay, so you guys do a private and instrument. What other courses do you go through?
Sure, so we have private, instrument, commercial, and CFI. We also do training on the collegiate level. We do some career placement with some airlines and have some agreements there. So it's just really neat, whether you're just a hobbyist pilot or whether you want to take this all the way through and, man, this is my career that I want to make it, we'll help you with that entire process.
All right, so collegiate level, do you have agreements then with certain colleges you guys work with?
Yes, we work with National American University. They have 37 campuses throughout the United States. They launched their aviation program. We're the exclusive ground training provider. So all of it's online. You watch our videos. Now you're earning college credit for it. But I can use the GI Bill, VA benefits, all these great things, like the scholarships, different funding to, at the collegiate level for flight training now.
Okay, so I'm thinking about going and getting the CFI. Just because I want to buy another airplane. I want to make it a partnership, and every good airplane partnership needs a CFI. And so I think the guy that wants to do it should go get the CFI, and then we'll find a mechanic and all that later. Walk me through what does your CFI program look like, and then where do I go get the flight stuff done?
Sure. So the hardest part, and where everybody starts with that, is with the FOI, Fundamentals of Instruction, which is really like a master's degree in education. And we take you through all these real world scenarios. And I share with you, okay, in this scenario, you're teaching a commercial pilot who hasn't flown in 5 years, and you teach them steep turn, slow flight, and stalls. So you have to put on that hat of, okay, this guy has experience, but hasn't flown in 5 years. So you teach as if that's your student, because that's what being a flight instructor is. Being a flight instructor, you're really a psychologist. You have to know how to teach steep turns to the engineer who wants to know every detail, and then maybe the entrepreneur who just wants big picture type things. You really have to be able to adapt your teaching style to it. And our course helps you through that process. So we'll get you the 2 written tests done required for CFI, and then we have dozens of flight schools we partner with that we can send you out to that already know our curriculum, know our program, and can go out and do your training that way.
And can I look up online where your flight schools are and all that before I sign up and go?
Absolutely. It's findacfi.com. And you don't have to use our flight school. You can go to any flight school. I'm just saying there's flight schools that we have that use our program. So they send us business. We try to send them business. It's a symbiotic relationship.
Okay, sounds good. What is something you'd want to say to help promote you guys more? What's your main model? Or actually, no. Before that, all right, your YouTube videos and your videos when you're doing it with the airplane. Obviously, you're using GoPros. As we wait for more jet noise, how do you keep them on the wing?
So we actually have a mechanic now who does everything for us. So most of our stuff is STC'd now. So we'll go to like an inspection plate or something like that to make them a little bit more secure. But we had to go, because we do it as a commercial entity, had to go the legal route with STCs and everything and have a mechanic actually perform that and do it.
Okay, so what was your first feeling when you actually threw a big GoPro on the side and you're like, were you thinking, oh my gosh, I hope the thing doesn't fall off? My wife's gonna be really mad at me if this falls off. I mean, your first time, the first one.
When I first bought it, I was flat broke. So I spent the last $500 I had 10 years ago, when GoPro first came out to do that. And I actually took AA batteries and I put it in the waterproof housing to simulate the GoPro weight. And I flew around with that instead before I lost the actual camera. Like, okay, that holds. I'm gonna try to put the camera in now. So that's how we ended up doing that.
Okay, so on the Flying in Life podcast, we got that flying covered. You have a very beautiful wife, 2 beautiful children here. How do you balance the work, the life, and all that with your family?
I didn't want to go the airline route because I knew I wanted to have that family and be home every night. So we found a great niche in flight instruction. Our kids, we have in-house daycare. The kids come to the studio with us. We have a big 4,000 square foot studio space. We do our videos. The kids have their own room. When I want to go spend time with them, I can. When I have to do an important business call, I can leave them there. So it's a great relationship that we have that. And the hardest part for us is Ashley and I both work together. It's turning off work when we get home. And that can be hard to do sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, well, thank you very much for your time. Again, thank you so much for your videos to help us all be better pilots.
Thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it.
All right, talking to Jason was really cool because honestly, I do sit there at work. I do sit there with, there's a good duty pilot that is a GA pilot as well. He's got a Warrior. There's a couple of crew trackers and some other people that sit there. And the M0A.com, their free stuff, the stuff they give away on Facebook and their Twitter is amazing. It helps you become a better pilot. Now, the other stuff that you pay for, it's not only sit there for people going to get a rating. You can get Wings credit points for listening to their podcasts and watching their weekly videos. You get Wings credit. You don't have to do a BFR because you listen to a podcast about continuing education in aviation, which is amazing. So they're a great family. It was awesome seeing a small family or young family at a booth with his aviation company and his niche in it. He's definitely a great instructor. I wish he was a little closer because I'd definitely go get my CFI with them. So next, we'll move on and we'll talk about Cloud Ahoy after this. All right, I saw this next product going through, and I saw it a couple of times, and I'm like, "What's this thing? What are they doing?" And then as I was kind of walking by, I kept on looking. They had 2 big Mac screens set up, and looking a little bit closer and seeing what they were doing, and it turned out to be Cloud Ahoy. So I have two audio clips for them. One is their CEO and founder Chuck. He's going to talk through the product, which is this product is quite amazing. It tracks and uses your exact data, either from your iPhone, if you have a Stratus or Stratus 2, it includes your AHRS data, and all the way up to if you're flying an aircraft with a Garmin G1000, it gets every single parameter off of your SD card for a flight. You can plug it into your computer, upload it to Cloud Ahoy, and you really get to see exactly what you're doing. And not only does it just give you a ground track altitude and speed, but actually breaks out different maneuvers. So if you're a flight instructor and you're doing primary training with someone, It is, you'll see, and it'll break out steep turns. It will know that you're probably doing a steep turn and change it to color. S turns, it will turn those a different color. It knows when you're doing stalls. It knows when you're doing power on, power off stalls. It is completely, absolutely, um, a really great product. And you're going to hear in the interview with them, they're going to say, "All right, you guys have me sold. I'm going to go back to the media center and sign up for your stuff." And I did that, and I cannot wait to start using this. This is an absolutely great tool for anyone who wants to see their mistakes while flying. It's a great tool for flight instructors to be able to sit there and visually show their students what they did wrong, show them in a ground track. You can take your stuff with a GoPro and sync up the video and the ground track so you can show them what exactly they're doing wrong. Anyway, it's a great product. I'm very excited about it if you couldn't tell. So let's listen to Chuck, and it's a great company. Again, the whole company seemed to be in the booth, and I even asked him about that, or one of the guys about that. And they said, "Yeah, we're pretty much all here." So I think it's two families that came together and started this company. And again, brilliant, great stuff. All right, I'm here with. Nope, that's not the right one. This is the right one. All right, so I'm here with Chuck, the founder and CEO of Cloud Ahoy. Chuck, what is Cloud Ahoy? I've never heard of this before. What does it do?
Well, CloudAhoy is a debriefing tool. After the flight, after you land, you can use CloudAhoy to debrief the flight to see how well you did on your instrument approach, how well you did on your VFR maneuvers, or just how much fun you had in the air. Relive the flight, share it with others. That's what we do. In essence, we built it to increase the proficiency of pilots. The idea is that a good pilot should always learn from his or her flights, mistakes, and good things as well. And this allows you to actually see them.
Yeah, and I can see that as a pilot myself. You have great flights, but there's always at least one part in the flight you go, why did I do that? And you can, and this is a great tool. Marcus was showing it to me before. Um, you can see that. You can see everything. So, walk me through your program here. What does this do? I think right now he's got a flight up in the Boston area, I believe.
Yeah, actually, this flight I think is from Idaho, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Um, when you just start Cladahoy, you log the flight, you log into your account, and you can click on the flight and see it in the most basic form is just track log. Um, Using either satellite photos or aviation charts, IFR and VFR charts, overlaying instrument approaches, instrument procedures, that kind of thing. But it really shines when you start looking at the breaking down of the flight into segments. So the thing that we do that other people maybe are not doing is to segment the flight. We tell you that your flight contained, two steep turns and three chandelles, and that you took off from that airport, and the takeoff roll was that many feet. When you touched down, it was 566 feet from the threshold. Um, we analyze all of that and allow you with one click to focus on just one maneuver. You click on it, it zooms on it. You can view it in 2D, 3D, cockpit view mode, relive the flight with synthetic vision, or if you're inclined to use video in your flights, take a GoPro or Garmin Verb or any other video camera, use it in flight, and then after the flight, sync it with that flight debrief and view the video in addition to all of the other information.
How do you sync the GoPro and the Cloud Ahoy together?
Okay, so what you do is you upload the GoPro. Let's take GoPro as an example, video into YouTube. Now you get a URL. You paste the URL in CloudAhoy in the flight that you're debriefing. It shows you, it opens it in some random frame at the beginning of the flight of the footage. You bring the timeline of CloudAhoy to the same point. And the way that we usually do it is we open the synthetic vision um, window. We open another window with a video. You just bring them to the same point. You click sync, and from that time on, they are in sync for the forever.
Okay. Where do you have charts for? Where do you have users at? Is this just the U.S. based product? Is it where do you have the coverage?
Okay, so we have worldwide coverage. In the US, we use the FAA charts, IFR and sectionals and IFR low, IFR high charts. Outside of the US, we use Sky Vector charts. Again, VFR, IFR low, and IFR charts worldwide. Anywhere you fly in the world, we have charts for it. Um, we have an approach database that in the US is taken from the FAA, updated every 28 days. In the world, we use different other products, including our own approach editor that we can add an approach that's missing from the system right now.
Okay. How long have you guys been around?
About 5 years.
Okay. Where did you get this genius idea from?
Well, I was working on my IFR ticket, and I was under the hood. I had no idea how well I did. I was under a lot of stress. Um, I was debriefing with my. Yeah, we'll let this thing pass. Um,
I think that was the jet truck. That loud noise for something that goes across the ground and not even in the air.
and so I decided to develop an app initially on the iPhone, just for my own purposes to see what I was doing, what altitude I was in, how was I intercepted in localizer, really internalizing the comments that the CFII was telling me that I didn't fully understand during the flight and tend to forget afterwards. And then I showed it to some friends and they liked it, some pilot friends, and the rest is Kladahoy.
That's awesome. That is a great story. How you had something to improve yourself, and now you showed it to your friends, and now you're going to help improve pilots all over the place. Um, what else? What else does it do? I mean, that's a big story. We already talked about how do we capture flight? How does Cloud Ahoy data get from my 1963 Beach Musketeer that the only thing digital in it is my watch, basically? It's an empty. It's a very analog airplane. How do we I get data into Cloud Ahoy?
Okay, so we have free apps on iOS, on iPhone and iPad, as well as on the Android. Download the app, log into it using your account information, and all the app does is just one big glorified start button. You start, it starts logging in the GPS information using either the internal GPS or an external GPS that the device is connected with. At the end of the flight, it detects that you've landed, that you was taxiing and come to a complete stop on the ramp, and uploads the information automatically to the servers. So that's the easiest and less painful way of doing it. Um, but we also import data from probably close to 2 dozen data sources. If you don't have your low tech airplane, if you're flying a G1000, for example, you can import the G1000 information from the SD card in the G1000, and then in the addition to the GPS information and the AHARS information, you also get engine data, com data, nav data, and about 35 different uh, pieces of information. If you are using ForeFlight, or if you're flying in Europe and you use SkyDim and a bunch of other applications, you can export the track logs from these programs to Kradahoy. So you don't even need our app.
Okay, so I have a Stratus that I use. I have a Stratus 2S. Can I use that? Because I know it has its own flight recorder and track logs goes in there. Can I now take that data and throw it into Cloud Ahoy?
Oh, yeah, totally. And a lot of our users do it. A lot of our early adapters were using our app and just are using now ForeFlight and Stratus for logging the data. They're not using our app anymore. If you use the Stratus S or 2 or 2S, we also have the ARS information, which means that when we depict the cockpit view mode and simulate it for you, it actually uses the information from the ARS as opposed to us computing it from the GPS information.
Awesome. Like I said at the beginning, you guys have a really great product. Thank you for talking to me about it. I am going to go back to my tent or the media center right now and sign up. You guys have my $65. Oh, that's one other thing we talk about. How much does this cost?
So it's $65 a year, like you said. If you are a NAFI or SAFE CFI registered with them, you get a discount. It's $44.
All right, so it's $44 for a CFI.
For CFI registered with NAFI or SAFE.
That's a great thing. So thank you very, very much, Chuck, for this.
Thank you very much, indeed.
Okay, so I might have said in there that it was a jet truck that created that really loud noise. It was not. It was the Blue Angels. And when I looked over, because I could see the show line from where I was, Chuck had his back to the show line. I saw this, what I thought was a black and yellow thing just zoom literally right over the head tops of the people. All I saw was the top fin. It was one of the FA-18s that was that low, and all I saw was the upper two vertical stabs on them. It was crazy loud, as you heard, and it wasn't a jet truck. It was the Blue Angels. They practiced on their practice day today for probably about an hour, because there's a good amount of time between the M0A interview and the Cloud Ahoy interview. So I'm going to play one more thing of sound of the Cloud Ahoy. If you're watching on the YouTube, I'm gonna share the screen, or at least attempt to share the screen, so you do that, so you can see this. But it's Chuck again explaining Cloud Ahoy. There might be some repeat information, but I thought it was worth it to show this again. Their website, cloudahoy.com's got a lot of videos, a lot of good stuff for you to see everything. So we're going to start playing this. All right, so for everyone on YouTube, I extremely apologize that there was no audio. I'm sorry about it. It was recording for the audio version, so I'm sorry, but I was getting messages in the chat room. My wife texted me about 5 times because the family is watching as well, so it's all good. So Anyway, like I said, I signed up for Cloud of Ahoy, and what Chuck didn't mention, in either spot, they have a 35-day free trial. So if you're a private pilot, a pilot for just for fun like I am, go sign up, try it for 35 days. Really, and it only really starts not when you just sign up, but when you upload your first flight. So you go sign up now, go flying in about 2 weeks, and then your 35-day free trial starts from there. So do it. I'm really excited about this stuff. I'm looking at it. The fact that you can overlay instrument approaches into there so you can see where you did. I didn't mention in that video, but Marcus, his partner, showed me that you can put winds aloft on your thing. So say you're shooting down an ILS straight, but you keep on drifting over to the left and the winds are out of the right. You can see that, oh, I didn't have enough wind drift in there. Next time that happens, I know I need to keep my heading bug further to the right. So really great stuff. I can't wait to go back with my Stratus and analyze some of my other flights. Some things that I know I have done wrong and just don't quite understand why, but I want to really visually look at it. And I know this is going to make me better because I'm now going to try to make sure I keep my altitude within a very, very narrow margin anytime I'm flying, and I want to be more precise. So I'm really excited about this. If you couldn't tell, and to my wife, sorry, I'm going to spend a little bit more money. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about, I've heard this about on one other podcast before, just to mention, but I saw them there. I kind of understood exactly what they were and what they did, but I wanted to hear it from their voice. So we're going to hear about Aero Cinema. And Aero Cinema is basically an aviation channel that is like Netflix. So it's like Netflix for aviation nerds. So it's Netflix for all of us. So I'm looking for this. So let's go ahead and play this. All right, I'm here with Umar from Aero Cinema. Umar, what is this? It says the aviation channel, but I don't see it on cable. What is it?
So thanks, Mike, for having me. Aerocinema is an online documentary channel. It's kind of like Netflix of aviation. So what you get is access to 400 plus aviation programs never seen before on television, and we add content every week. It's a subscription service, comes with a 14-day free trial, and it's a monthly fee is about $5 a month, or if you sign up for a yearly membership, it's $49.95 a year, and you can cancel it at any time. And it's done by the same people who did Wings on Discovery Channel 10 years ago. So if you remember the Wings programming, it was the people who brought great Wings of the Luftwaffe, Sea Wings, is the same production company.
Okay, so what kind of things am I going to see if I choose to go and try Aero Cinema?
So content varies from mostly the content is of historical nature. Like a lot of our films are about mostly it's military aviation, especially from the Second World War. A lot of our programmings cover German secret and experimental weapons. A very, very important thing about our programming is animation because what we are trying to do is to cover stories which could never have been told before. So previously, whenever content was being delivered on Discovery Channel, the issue was that a lot of the stories were sort of left untold because there was no stock footage. There was nothing to tell the story with. So we came up with animation, studying the plans, diagrams, and coming up with real artwork to basically tell those stories. So this program, the content is entirely virgin, never seen before on television, being available for the very first time. Um, so you have stories about German secret experimental aircraft. You have programming about air legends like Adolf Galland. We have a special program, a three-part series about him. We have a story about Paul Tibbets. There's a three-part episode about him as well. His story about dropping the atomic bomb. Um, we cover newer topics now as well. The last program that we did was about the fighter mafia, which is a story of the F-16 and the A-10 and how it was being developed. Uh, we are offering a promo DVD pack as a giveaway for the show. That DVD pack has a program called the Nazi Secret Factory,
which is a story which is not really known by people. It's a story of the MEP 1101, which was the first ever swing wing fighter interceptor that Germany had under development in 1945. So the factory got raided by the Allied forces. The Russians got there first. The Soviets got there first. They took away the plans, but they left the prototype. So the prototype was taken over by the Allied forces, and they did some testing on it. There's another program on that same disk called Fight Above the Clouds. It's the story of a Junkers 86R reconnaissance plane, which was retrofitted with a bomb to terrorize England. And the plane was flying so high that RAF fighters couldn't get to it. So this is a story, a tussle between RAF fighters trying to get to a bomber which is flying so high that they can't get to it. So to find out what happens next.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys are focusing a lot on historical World War II stuff. I like what you're doing with the animation. That it makes sense. I'm looking at this. I'll take a picture, and this will be in the show notes with a beautiful picture of your backdrop. I'm assuming that's like a screenshot from one of the shows.
That's correct. So what you see in the background is a shot of a Heinkel HE-111 Zwilling, which was a plane which was two fuselages were combined to make a single plane, and this plane was used to tow gliders during the war. It didn't work out very well though.
I'm just looking at it. It looks funky. Like again, picture will be in the show notes for that. Anything else that you want to say to try to inspire people to go check out Aero Cinema, or where can they go online, and what platforms is your channel visible on?
So AeroCinema is available on aerocinema.com, and you can download the iPad app. We are also available on Apple TV. Just search for us on Roku Box, Samsung Smart TV, and Panasonic TVs. Um, to our audience, we'll say that try out the service. It is no obligation, comes with a 14-day free trial, and you can cancel it at any time.
Alrighty, sounds good. Sounds like something quite large is flying over. All right, well, thank you very much, Umar, for your time.
Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you for having me.
Okay, like Umar said, it's a 14-day free trial. It's a lot of historical stuff, so I'm not sure it might tickle my fancy, but there might be occasions at 3 a.m. in the morning that it might be better off to watch something aviation related opposed to not. But I'm gonna forward this on. So it is good service. I hope it takes off. I do feel there's missing aviation content in the world, and we need to find a way to try to get more pilots. So all of this cool was something cool. So this next group, I'm gonna play the interview and they're gonna talk about it. But this is Fly Maine, or the Maine Aeronautical Business Association, or Aviation Business Association. But this is a group that just got created to try to reinvent Maine's airports into business centers. So let's go and listen to this. And they got a really cool program going on. I thought of a certain person that we all know, and I know listens to this podcast, that lives in Maine when I saw this. So I wanted to just stop and talk to them anyway. But when I saw what they have going on for this summer, I thought of all of the listeners that live up in the Northeast might want to go take advantage of this deal. So let's go. Let's listen to Maine. All right, I'm here with Marty McMahon from Fly Maine. Marty, talk to us about Maine and what do you guys do?
Yeah, we're with the Maine Aviation Business Association, and we're here to promote the Maine Flying Trail for 2017. Where if you pick up one of our passports, you can pick one up here or pick one up at any Maine airport. And if you hit 5 Maine airports, we'll send you home with a couple of live Maine lobsters, or we'll steam them up for you.
All right, so is this any airport in Maine, or is this certain airports in Maine?
It's all the public use airports in Maine. So there's 72 airports in the passport program, and you just have to hit 5 of them.
Airports are participating. I just need to fly up there, land at 5, and you guys cook me a lobster dinner.
Yep, no, yep. We'll give you 2 Maine lobsters, and we'll, if you want to take them back home live with you, we'll pack them up for you, or we'll steam them up for you to eat right there.
Okay. What else does the Maine Business Association do?
We're a recently formed organization to help promote aviation businesses in Maine. We've got some great airports in Maine that were all built. A lot of them were built during World War II with to support the war effort, and they're great facilities. And we're trying to get businesses in there to use them and put them back to good, useful business use in the state of Maine.
If you had to pick one main airport, which one's your favorite?
Oh, Brunswick, 'cause that's where I live and work.
Okay. I know personally, I always choose Bangor. A dispatcher for a major airline. I was working the 767 fleet last year, and we sometimes needed to do a fuel stop for reasons, and I always stopped in Bangor because they always did a great job turning our airplane. So, what else is great about flying in Maine, and why should people come and do your lobster tour?
Flying in Maine is great because really the airspace is really uncongested. Um, you kind of avoid all the heavy traffic areas. You can fly all over the place. Um, depending on what time of year you go up there, you can you know land on the runway, land on the water, or land on your skis, and all in one day if you want to. It's just a terrific place to fly and learn how to fly.
Okay, one last question. You're wearing a great State of Maine air show. Is that going on this year, and when is it?
It is, yes. The last weekend in August, August 26th, 27th, with the Blue Angels. That's at Brunswick Executive Airport.
All right, so at Brunswick, another stop for the Blue Angels. All right, well, thank you very much, sir.
Take care. Thank you.
All right, so Maine was not the only only state that's been here at Son of Fun. There's two others. There's Virginia and North Carolina, and both of them provided and have for pilots here for free. They're just giving away some great products. There's the Commonwealth of Virginia both has a aeronautical guide, which is a complete, it's almost like a roadmap that they give away at the pit stops. In North Carolina has one too. I'm just showing for the folks on YouTube. It's upside down, but it's a full VFR sectional just for the state, which is amazing. But the thing that I think is crazy the most is this book here. This is the Virginia Airport Directory, and I'll show you the North Carolina one here in a second. But it gives you a full pictorial of the airport, and on the next page after the pictorial of the airport, it gives you all the stuff to do around the airport and points of interest around that airport. So for people that are flying there and looking for some place to go, and I just picked to a random point. So uh, actually, in this book, Falwell is not Lynchburg. So Lynchburg is larger, but still full color, full everything like that. Talking about food and everything else. It's a great tool. It's a great planning tool. So I'm gonna look to see if the Georgia Department of Aviation does that and stuff like that. And then the North Carolina one here, I'll just close the page that I just had open. But North Carolina front page, important phone numbers, and it's important phone numbers to Washington Center, Jack Center, and Atlanta Center. So the three centers that cover and control their state, they have the phone number to the watch desk. So in case something happened, you did something wrong, you have the phone number right there, which I think is great. Usually it's kind of hard to find a phone number for each thing, but also it has the towers and the approaches in that state as well. I kudos to these two states for being here, and publishing those numbers is big, especially for a GA pilot. Say you got a question about the airport, question about a procedure or a NOTAM that came up. Say you're about ready to fly to Asheville, and you're going to go to see a point of interest in Asheville, like the Biltmore Estates. But all of a sudden, you see this NOTAM, and you don't quite understand what it means. And instead of saying, "Nope, I'm not going there," you just call Asheville Tower, because now you have the phone number and they explain it to you. You fully understand it. You don't really need to worry about it because now you have the answer before you get there. So I'm really excited about this information. Like I said, I'm going to see if Georgia or any other states, if you fly in the United States, get a hold of your state Department of Aviation. See if they have these books. They're really cool. They're really good planning guides. So that's going to wrap it up. Was the that was the day number 3 here at Sun and Fun. It's been good. It's a lot cooler today. Even though I spent a lot of time inside. I looked at headsets today. Looked to see if I wanted to update my headset into something more more of the features opposed to just a great headset, but something with noise canceling and something with Bluetooth. Looked at them, looked at the Bose, looked at the Lightspeed, I looked at the Telex, and I looked at the David Clarks. If I had to rank them, I'd go Lightspeed, Lightspeed, David Clark, Bose, Telex in that order. I didn't like the way that the noise canceling, they put some audio pressure on your ear, and I could feel that. I felt like every time it clicked on, I had to clear my ear, and the price tag on them, they're pretty hefty investments. And even though the Lightspeed has a 30-day guarantee, that's still a lot of cash to shell out right away. So as of right now, Lightspeed still has a headset, and I don't. So like I said, it's a cool night. Tomorrow, hopefully, it's a little bit less windy. I'm going to looking at the different aircraft manufacturers that are here in the here at Sun Fun. Looking at the Pipers, the Beechcraft, Jabiru's here. If anyone's never heard of Jabiru in the Northern Hemisphere, it's because it's an Australian company with Jabiru engines. So I'm kind of really looking forward to seeing them. And there's a lot of light sport aircraft here, and light sport amphibs, and a lot of amphibian planes. So I'm going to focus on aircraft and aircraft manufacturers tomorrow, and then we'll try to figure out what we're going to do for the weekend. Oh, we got some STEM stuff coming up. As part of my media credentials, I have to cover some STEM. So we'll be looking at STEM as well. But that's going to wrap up the podcast. So thanks for joining me live on YouTube. Thanks for everything. So we'll go ahead and close out. And then starting tomorrow, we'll be back at it again. So we'll be back here. Nope. There we go. Oh, move my cord. Oh, that's horrible. Hopefully, we'll be back here sometime tomorrow night if this microphone holds up. So until then, thanks. See ya.